Hi, Year 9. I'm just going to walk you through your task. This task is being set for Tuesday. It is not due until Thursday, though, just to give you a little more time. I want to give you a heads up that on Thursday you will have a reading task for trash. So plan your time accordingly. I've put some suggested times in here, minimum amount of time you need for different parts of the task. So that will help you to plan your time, okay? So the first step is go to the link that I've attached here, the How to Write a Speech link, BBC Bite Size. There is text there. Whoops. Just open it with Safari here. You're going to read the text. Okay, watch the video right here, 2 minutes. Okay, continue reading the text. And at the bottom, there's a quiz right here with the microphone. It's just 5 questions, should be pretty straightforward. And that's the first part. This is just to get you thinking about some of the key elements of writing a speech. You're writing a speech for today's task. You will be writing one for your March assessment for this unit. And we're working toward your GCSE study of spoken language and speaking and listening type tasks. Okay, so this is very relevant. Now, just going back to the assignment, you're going to open the persuasive speech plan document and work through the activities there. Okay, for this first part of the activity, I'd like you to do all of this in your English notebook and then upload a photograph, preferably a PDF. Okay. This first part, you're going to choose a topic. Okay, and you're just going to write your thoughts on that topic. Okay, just do one. And write your thoughts on that topic. So for example, if I choose, are school holidays too long or too short? Should there be more or fewer holidays? Okay, go ahead and write out your thoughts on that topic if that's the one you choose. Obviously with half term coming up, I imagine most of you are really going to be looking forward to that and wishing there were more holidays. Okay, but you might really give it some thought so that you have something meaningful to say other than I don't want to go to school. Okay, or maybe to develop that idea. Okay, now I don't mean to suggest that everybody has that attitude. Some of you may feel that you already have a lot of holidays and that you need more time in school. Okay, or that's time well spent. Okay, now next part of the task is to take that same topic, okay, and break out 5 bullet points, for and against. So this is encouraging you to think on both sides of the issue, which is really important when you're doing spoken language because you may have some people in your audience who are thinking about it from a different perspective, and your goal is to change their mind. So you need to be able to understand the reasons they might feel the way they do in order to counteract those arguments, okay, and to see the big picture. So for example, if I'm looking at holidays and I want to come up with reasons, I am arguing that, no, you just pick a side here to make it clear. So let's say the for side is that I am for more school holidays and longer school holidays, okay? What's one argument I could use to make the point that we need those, okay? I might say students are experiencing unprecedented levels of stress due to, and I don't know if this is a fact, okay, but I can argue it that way, due to the changes in their education that have come from the coronavirus pandemic, okay? So that's one reason. And therefore they need a break, more breaks and longer breaks to recover, okay? So that's an example of one argument. You're shooting for 5 different arguments. Really think your way around the issue. And then what about on the flip side of that, okay? What might be an argument against more holidays? One of the strong arguments that's being put out there is that and actually that comes up every summer, is that when students are home for an extended period in the summertime, there's summer learning loss. In other words, we sometimes slip a little bit in our learning during extended breaks. Okay, so that would be an argument for shorter holidays anyway. Okay, so see if you can expand those arguments. And then your task is to write a speech. Okay, now your audience is a lower school assembly, so you're really targeting this to people who are your own age, okay, and trying to keep them interested with questions and humor. There are some ideas here. I won't read them to you. You can read them yourself for how to get started. Okay, you don't need to use speech marks because the whole thing is your speech. Okay, and again, it's reminding you to prepare a really detailed list of points for and against before you start, okay, because that may help you. Now, I'm going to jump back. Now, those are the things that you need to upload as your task, okay? That first box, then the chart with the for and against, detailed reasons for and against, and then your speech, okay? I've told you here that you should spend about 25 minutes writing the actual speech after the planning. Okay, now, if you're getting ready to write your speech, these are the things you want to keep in mind. You'll be marked on how well you plan your speech. Okay, that should be clear in your notes as well as in the ideas that you share and the organization that's in your speech. Okay, the way you've organized your paragraphs. Next, you'll be marked on how you structure your writing. Are you using paragraphs for your introduction, 3 main arguments, and a conclusion? Okay, and finally, use language techniques you've studied to engage your reader. Okay, and here it says, see the speech planning sheet 2, page 2 for ideas. Okay, now at the bottom, see the note. In case it will help you, I've attached a document called Speech Planning Sheet 2. You do not need to complete it or turn that sheet in, but you might want to use it to help you think through your 3 main arguments and add language techniques. So let's just have a look at it together. Okay, so your topic or theme on the left, and you can do this in your notebook, okay? Your topic or theme on the left is whatever topic you've chosen and your position on it. Okay, you are not arguing both sides. You are not saying, I see the reasons for and see the reasons against. You're picking a side and arguing that viewpoint. Okay, does that make sense? Now, in order to argue that point of view, you're giving 3 main arguments. Okay, you might want to pick your 3 best arguments from the 5 that you wrote down, either for or against. Okay, and then in this last column, you'll see evidence and explanation. Okay, you guys have written PEE paragraphs before. You make a point, and then you give evidence or explain your point. Okay, so for example, if I say that students are experiencing unprecedented levels of stress and therefore need longer holidays to recover, I'm going to need to explain how it is that students are more stressed now than in the past. And then I might also need to explain how those longer holidays will relieve their stress. How will they, in fact, help students to feel better? And then I might want to punctuate that by talking about how if students are more relaxed, that will actually help students to be more effective learners and help their achievement in the long run. Okay, so that might be how I fill out those evidence and explanation columns for my first point. Okay, so this is a tool. If it's useful for you, use it to help you organize your ideas and plan before you start writing. Okay, now page 2 here will be you do not need to use this as a checklist. It's just to give you some ideas about how you can use language techniques to make your writing more interesting. Okay, so these are all things that you've studied, okay, approaches that you've studied in the past. I won't go over them now, but this is mostly just to remind you and to guide you. Okay, look at the last one in particular. Use a strong, powerful conclusion. Perhaps you want to give a final thought that makes the audience think twice. For example, ultimately, it's your choice. Okay, that might not be true when it comes to homework. Okay, so choose yours carefully. I hope that's helpful. Good luck, and send me notes on any questions.